Receiving a job offer is exciting, but many professionals leave thousands of dollars on the table because they don't negotiate effectively. And it's not because they lack experience or qualifications. It's because they don't know how to approach the offer conversation strategically. In this video, we're sharing 3 powerful salary negotiation strategies we teach our coaching clients that can help you confidently navigate the offer conversation and position yourself for the compensation you deserve. If you don't know me, I'm Portia of Fly High Coaching, where we've helped thousands of executives and professionals reach their career goals. By the end of this video, you'll learn why the first number matters more than most professionals realize, how to negotiate without sounding difficult or ungrateful, the strategy top candidates use to increase compensation without risking the offer. If you have an offer coming soon or expect one in the future, these strategies can make a 5-figure difference in your career earnings. First, you want to control the salary anchor early. One of the most important dynamics in any negotiation is anchoring. The first meaningful number discussed often sets the framework for the entire negotiation. If the employer anchors low, it becomes much harder to move the number significantly upward later. So, if you read these really hardcore negotiation books, when they talk about salary or some kind of business negotiation involving finance, they generally say something along the lines of the first person to propose a number often loses the negotiation. And that's the point we're talking about now. You want to understand the concept of anchoring in negotiations. The first number introduced strongly influences the final outcome. Employers often test candidates to see if they will accept the initial range. If you immediately agree, the negotiation usually ends there. So, you want to do your compensation research before the conversation. You want to understand market salary benchmarks, industry compensation trends, geographic pay differences, and seniority level expectations. If you want help structuring your job search the smart way, download our free Smart Job Seekers Guide linked below. You also want to avoid revealing your current salary too early. Your current salary should not determine your future value. So, if someone asks about that, you want to shift the conversation to market value and role scope. So, a way you might do this, you might say, I'm most interested in understanding the full scope of the role and compensation structure before discussing specific numbers. When possible, let the employer present the first offer. It's like I said earlier, this gives you valuable information about their budget. It prevents you from unintentionally anchoring too low. If you're asked for your expectations and you can't get around it, provide a range based on market value. So you might say something like, based on the scope of this role and market benchmarks, I'd expect something in the range of $85,000 to $95,000, depending on the full compensation package. That's an example. One of the biggest mistakes I have seen clients make prior to working with us is that they were in a salary negotiation and they put out one number. Usually it was either the number that they made at their last job or that number plus a little bit more. Putting out one number as opposed to a range really hurts you in a variety of ways. This second point is another way that it hurts you. You want to negotiate the entire compensation package, not just salary. So that one number really kills you here. Many professionals focus only on base salary, but total compensation is often far more flexible. This is especially true at the manager, director, and executive levels. So you want to understand the components of total compensation or total comp. You might hear it referred to by a recruiter or someone in HR. So these may include your base salary, signing bonuses, performance bonuses, equity or stock options, RSUs, retirement contributions, additional PTO, and flexible work arrangements. Often, if someone is only focused on a salary number, they can miss a better opportunity that might even provide more money if they're so focused on salary alone. So, for example, I've seen people prior to working with us be so fixated on a salary number that they were in a negotiation and then they learned that the salary was technically a little lower than they wanted. But when they looked at the total comp, when you looked at bonuses and everything, it was 30, 40, $50,000 more than just being focused on salary alone. You don't want to miss out on what could potentially be a better opportunity because you're only focused on salary. You want to identify what matters most to you. Different professionals prioritize different things. So someone might want that higher base salary. Someone might want equity growth potential. Someone is into remote flexibility, hybrid work, a leadership title, or a specific scope in their role. Knowing your priorities helps you negotiate strategically instead of emotionally. You want to use trade-offs strategically. For example, if salary flexibility is limited, you might negotiate other things like a signing bonus, guaranteed first-year bonus, additional vacation, or a different title. You also want to frame your requests collaboratively. So, for example, you might ask, is there flexibility within the signing bonus or bonus structure to help bridge that gap? This keeps the tone professional and cooperative, not adversarial. And finally, you want to use strategic silence and confidence. One of the most powerful negotiation tools is confidence combined with patience. Many candidates unintentionally weaken their position because they talk too much after the offer is presented. Big no-no. You always want to express appreciation first, though. So you might say, thank you for the offer. I'm excited about the opportunity and the impact this role could have. All of that maintains a positive tone before discussing compensation. Then you want to pause before responding. A moment of silence shows you're evaluating the offer carefully and signals that compensation matters. Employers often fill that silence with additional information or flexibility, so you can get more clues and information. You want to ask thoughtful follow-up questions. So here are some examples. Is there flexibility in the salary range? How are bonuses typically structured? What does compensation progression look like over time? These questions demonstrate professional negotiation, not a confrontation. And then you also want to frame your counteroffer with data. So if you are counteroffering, you might say something like, based on my experience and the market range for similar roles, I was expecting something closer to X. Is there any flexibility there? And then you want to give them time to respond. Strong candidates understand that negotiation is a process, not a single conversation. Sometimes a recruiter or a hiring manager might have to get back with you about if there's any flexibility or what they can do. So let's quickly recap the 3 salary negotiation strategies. 1, you want to control the salary anchor early so the conversation starts in the right range. 2, you want to negotiate the full compensation package, not just base salary. And 3, you want to use confidence, thoughtful questions, and strategic silence to strengthen your position. Most professionals only negotiate a handful of times in their whole career, but those moments can impact hundreds of thousands of dollars in lifetime earnings. So the next time you receive an offer, remember, negotiation isn't about being aggressive. It's about being prepared, strategic, and confident in the value you bring. If you found this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe to our channel.